Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Excellent. Are we on air?
I think we are.
Excellent. Welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah, man.
This has been a fun show.
Another Tuesday night here at LA Radio.
So, this week has been kind of weird. I had a bad week, Alan.
I know. I was there. I witnessed most of it, but not all of it.
A lot of people were like on the show. They were like, "Hey, how come you didn't announce the guest?"
Yeah.
And here's the truth: because we didn't know who the guest would be.
That's true.
It was. I had a connection to get Jon Lovitz.
Yeah.
That fell through.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden...
That was a bummer.
It was a bummer. And then all of a sudden, I'm at a comedy club, because I do stand-up.
We want everyone to know that.
Yeah. Alan was mocking me at McDonald's.
Well, I was just having fun.
So, we call, Anyway, so the comedy club owner guy said Jon Lovitz was at the comedy club last night, and he forgot his wallet.
That was amazing.
And he's like, "Can you return it to him?" And I was like, "Yeah," because then I could be like, "Hey, is he going to do the show or not?"
Yeah.
So what happens was I have his wallet, and it was really weird, because like I have Jon Lovitz's wallet in my hand.
And you're a Jon Lovitz fan.
A huge Jon Lovitz fan. Any questions? And so I was like, "Oh, this is going to be cool." So we drive 3 hours to get there.
Yeah.
And then an hour to pick you up. So that was 4 hours.
4 right there.
So we waited for Jon Lovitz.
At the famous Beverly Hills Hotel.
That's right. Yeah, at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And we waited for Jon Lovitz. And he said, meet us at 2 o'clock. So we were there at 2 o'clock. We never got to see him.
It's unfortunate.
So what we did was we left his wallet with the concierge, and we left a note that said, "Hey, we just drove 4 hours. Can you do the podcast?" So then Jon Lovitz calls the manager of the comedy club, and he's like, "It's a little weird. How does this guy have my wallet?" And I was like, "Oh." And he's like, "Yeah, Jon was really freaked out by the note. I thought it was a very good note.
It had its points."
Yeah. But anyway, so we lost that connection with Jon Lovitz, and it sucked because I was looking forward to it.
Don't be so final about it. I think you never know.
Yeah, you never know what the future stands for. But anyways, so yeah, and then we were supposed to get another guest, and then that one backfired.
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard, It's hard doing a podcast when all the guests is just have something to do, and like I said, that's why I didn't announce Jon Lovitz, because if I did announce Jon Lovitz and then he's not here, that makes me a liar.
Well, it just means that he didn't show up.
Yeah, but it makes me a liar, and I cannot be a liar.
Don't be hard on yourself.
Don't be hard on myself. I just got a funny text. But no, it's like one of those things where I was very disappointed. But, tonight we have a great guest. It was a last-second favor. And, it's really cool because I'm actually doing stand-up with her and on Thursday.
I've seen her at the Ice House.
Yeah. And our guest tonight is Debi Gutierrez. Did I say it right?
You say it right? See, I said
Gutierrez.
She's probably going to correct us.
Yeah, I'll ask her.
I said Gutierrez. You said Gutierrez.
I think it's Gutierrez.
But that's because that's how they were introduced her on another show.
Yeah.
But they were like, maybe they didn't really know how to pronounce it, and she let it go by.
Well, for those who don't know, Debi Gutierrez is
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez. Gutierrez.
Well, she's going to correct it.
She's going to correct it. She's going to hate us.
And I don't want
you.
And there's no betting here. Who's right or wrong? We're not in that situation.
We're horrible at betting.
Well, because you need money to bet. It's a little problem.
Okay, so Debi Gutierrez. Okay, is that
Gutierrez?
Didn't I say that?
You said Gutierrez
the first time, but now I said Gutierrez.
No, you said it. That's good, right there. If you
Oh,
wanna
you're
do
killing me, Smalls. Anyways, so
that. Oh,
so Debi Gutierrez, she's a big stand-up comedian.
She certainly is.
She opens up for Brad Garrett. That's a huge deal because Brad Garrett's another one of my favorite comics. She's been on The View.
that she certainly has.
Like, that's a huge deal, sitting next to Barbara Walters,
Oh, that's right.
you.
Right.
I mean, I don't like...
Whoopi Goldberg.
No, Whoopi was not there.
Oh, no, excuse me.
She
No,
was
no,
hosting for Whoopi Goldberg. But she was on The View. That's a huge
It's a great
thing,
show. Great show.
And, she's a regular at the Ice House and, Comedy Time. She does a lot of corporate comedy events, gets a lot of...
Does that as well.
Yeah. She's an author, which is cool.
Relationship expert.
A relationship expert, which is why I wanted to talk to her,
You need
because
really bad.
I'm having relationship expert issues.
Uh-oh.
But the coolest thing about her is she's very, very funny.
Yeah.
And she's willing to do our podcast, which is cool. I tried to get her for season 1, actually, but season 1 it was just hard because we were a video podcast.
We had video podcast.
And on video podcasts, you need the guests there to have a show.
It helps.
And the cool thing about audio podcasts is if a guest doesn't want to show up, all you have to do is ask them to phone call.
I love the technology.
But on video, you need them to actually show up.
It helps.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they like to show up and sit with a microphone in their face like this.
Yeah. It's just this season, none of the guests
I
want.
personally think that staying at home and lying in
We're
bed...
getting a telephone call. One second. Maybe this is Debbie.
Debbie?
Hello?
Hi, Keith. It's Debi Gutierrez.
Oh, hey,
hi,
Debbie.
We were just talking about you.
We were just introducing you, and then you called.
Here I am.
Yeah.
Now, Debbie, we have a question. How do you say your name again? I said
Gutierrez.
it was Gutierrez, right?
Oops. Nope.
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez. Yeah, I
So
thought it was,
I was right.
Oh, good for you. I thought-
Alan was wrong.
Well, you see, I'm half Cuban, and the Cuban side said Gutierrez.
Debbie, this is Alan, my trusty sidekick.
Alan Lee, I'm just a quiet one, the unknown. I'm the unknown
Hi.
unknown comic.
Debbie, Alan was telling me
Yeah.
he's seen you at the Ice House
have
several
indeed.
times.
I have indeed.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So Debbie and I are actually doing the Irvine Improv on Thursday.
Great, fantastic.
It's gonna be fun. I've been trying for like 4 years to open up for you, Debbie. I don't know if you noticed.
I know. I know. But what's funny is that I know a lot of comics take a sidekick with them and they go together and stuff,
thank
but
you.
I've never had anybody like that. So they always get my opener for me or my feature for me. Less drama for me, too. But
All right.
Yeah.
I know you've been so sweet in asking, and they finally asked me, hey, is there somebody that you would like? And I said, yeah, let's give Keith Reza a call.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because Debbie's one of
Yeah.
my favorite comics, and it was cool.
Oh, you're too nice.
All right.
You're too nice.
Yeah, we were talking about how we tried to get you last season on the podcast, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason. And then we were supposed to get you in January, and then I was like, hey, Debbie and I are doing a show on Thursday. I wonder if I could call her in and tell her to do it today.
What timing?
Yeah, it was like, it's one of those things, you know what I mean? So it was pretty cool.
Good. And you know what? I don't have to drive anywhere.
Well,
I can do it from the comfort of my home.
We were talking about
Exactly.
that. Did you hear us? We were talking about how wonderful the technology is and how some people like to come in, and we noticed, although they haven't on our show, and actually sit at the table with us. But I'm all for laying in bed there, Debbie, and just
I know. And
talk.
what's
What's
cool
the big
about
deal?
auditions, too, is that you
Yeah.
can ask for, a green audition.
Nice.
Can I, in other words, I want to save gas.
So the
and
green.
not pollute the world and just do
Oh.
an audition via
green.
via tape.
Oh.
So yeah,
I
it
thought
makes
you meant
sound
green
very Earth aware when all it is you just don't want to drive.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I actually did do a one green audition, and I got a call back from it, but they made me drive to the callback.
Come back in.
So that ruined the
and it
green
ruined
part.
the green experience for me. Because I was like, oh, this is cool. This is what acting is. I don't have to, And then I had to drive. It was like a 3-hour traffic, and then it was like 1 minute monologue, and I didn't get it. I was like,
Well,
Isn't it crazy when it's just one thing or a look or something, and you got to come all the way in?
that's something.
yeah, it's.
But it's part of the game. You got to play it.
Well, I think that's why I'm kind of like out of the acting game because I fell so in love with stand-up, So I'm hoping that someone will like watch my stand-up and be like, oh, hey, you want a part? And
It happens.
You know what I mean?
It happens every 10,000
Yeah,
years.
we were a part of the stand-up just for you.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Debbie, we wanted to talk to you. I have a couple questions on the Facebook and the Twitter feed for you. Are you more into Facebook or Twitter?
I like Facebook, but I'm really getting the power of Twitter. And I've got some really good friends in the business, like Ken Young is a friend, Dr. Ken, and Sherry Shepard and Yvette Nicole Brown, and of course all the guys from the Chew on ABC. And I realized that when I tweet them, they retweet, and then people retweet from there. So it's a really powerful form of promotion,
Yeah, Twitter, I think, is really powerful. But the thing is like, I'm just now getting used to Facebook because I've been so stuck on MySpace. And when no one's on MySpace, yeah, and then you get, so I'm like 3 years behind, So,
oh my gosh.
But Twitter's cool because you only have a certain amount of letters to tweet, So whatever you do, you got to do it short and fast.
They're disciplined over
Which
there.
I appreciate, because sometimes Facebook, it's like, oh my gosh, really? Do I want to continue all the way and see whether or not I like your post?
Exactly, yeah. And then with the Facebook, all you have to do is retweet or like it, and you don't have to follow everybody on Twitter too. That's the cool. The cool thing about it. So, okay. So we have a question from the Twitter feed. Hi, Debbie.
Twitter feed.
Yeah. Hi, Debbie. Does your husband or any of your children come on tour with you to your regular stand-up gigs?
Only the fun places. If I'm doing Las Vegas, if I'm doing New York, there's some parts of Texas they like to go to. But, Springfield, Illinois, no. Anybody want to go? You can see where Lincoln was born. Nope. But,
I would totally go there. I like to see Lincoln.
I would go. I've never
I remember taking my little girl to New York and her never seen snow before. And she had mittens on. She goes, what are these? And, so they had never seen snow. Or my littlest one had never seen snow. And New York. She had never seen New York. So when it's a fun experience, of course, they'll go, but otherwise, not really, no.
Yeah.
So, when I'm going to Irvine Improv, my 17-year-old wants to go because there's a mall attached.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
No, because I get Irvine and Brea confused a lot because Irvine just moved. Have you done the new Irvine yet?
I have, and it is just beautiful.
It's huge, isn't it?
Gigantic.
And
yeah, it is just. It's big, but they know how to work it so that so it can be an intimate number, but you still feel like you're a part of a big crowd. Like I did a fundraiser there, and so it was just fundraiser people, so it was a smaller crowd, but it just felt like a full room the way that they blocked it off, and I'm not explaining it fairly, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a room that can be both intimate and large, and even kind of concert type with the big screen TVs and stuff.
Yeah. Well, see, I think the TVs is cool because, like, when it's a sellout, a lot of short people end up sitting in the back for some reason, Right.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that they're in the back of the room because when they're right there at the front, it's so funny because you're looking right into the audience and they're looking off to the side because they're looking at the big TV.
Like the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
Because whenever I do the Laugh Factory, I want to see myself on the TV, I guess. And that's why I never do the Laugh Factory. But whatever.
Oh my God.
It's a neat looking screen.
Yeah, but see, like with these TVs, they're in the back. So like if you sit in the back, you still can see great audio too.
Right.
And it's like really nice too.
Yeah.
I think the new Irvine fits like 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's huge. I
gigantic.
did it with Tom Arnold, and you would think Tom Arnold would get 500, and he only got 100. And it was still like really. No, I don't mean that in a bad way, but what I'm saying is like it was still really, like Debbie was saying, it seemed like it was a full house. But the thing is, it's just too big.
Yeah.
And with Brea, it gives you that comedy feel,
Is it
where
more
like they
like-
pack it
yeah.
out, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and then the second question for Debbie. Debbie, when were you passed at the Laugh Factory and the Ice House? How did it feel to become a regular at these great stand-up places?
You know, at the Laugh Factory, my very first time going in, I was so blessed. I really was. I did a comedy class at the Ice House, and part of the graduation ceremony, as you all know, is you go and you do your 20 minutes. So I was amazingly blessed that somebody saw me there, passed my name on to a manager, Howard Lapidus, an amazing manager. And Howard Lapidus, and he had a partner too. Oh my God, so many years ago. What was his name? Oh, anyway, it escapes me for now. But anyway, so the two of them were managing me, and they said, "Have you done the Laugh Factory yet?" And I said, "Not yet." So I went to go do it, and I was standing in line, and they called me out of line, and they said, "You don't have to do the 3 minute." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. You have to do the 20." So in some ways, it was really cool because I didn't have to do the, wait in line and do the audition for Jamie. I was really lucky that because I came with a good management company and they had faith in me, and Jamie had faith in my management company, that I could just go ahead and take a slot. So I had a 20-minute slot, and I was really scared. My first time at the world-renowned Laugh Factory doing 20 minutes. But I really took my classes seriously. I was a pretty good writer in my classes, and, it just shows that you can, if you really take what you're doing, your craft, and you study it, and you know it inside out, then, you can get up there and do 20 minutes. So that's what I did, and I became a regular ever since then. I don't think Jamie was ever the wiser,
Wow.
Just hooked me right into it. So, and then the Comedy Store, I played the Comedy Store as well. So for a few years I played the Laugh Factory early show, and then I ran down to the Comedy Store with a bunch of comedians. We'd jump in one car, and we'd go down the Comedy Store, and we'd do a set there, and then we'd jump back in the car and go do a midnight show with Fraser Smith at the Laugh Factory. So 3 shows in one night.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
And the good thing is they're so close together, too, so it's not really that far of a drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the question I had is, like, when you've been doing stand-up for almost more than 20 years, right?
21 years.
20,
yeah.
And you were teaching before that, correct?
10 years.
Yeah. Now, when you were teaching, were you still doing stand-up at the same time?
For about a year.
Yeah.
For just about a year. Yeah, but, again, I just, like I said, I was really prepared, and being a teacher, you can teach a teacher anything.
Yeah.
So, I went to class, and I took my notes, and I knew what they expected inside out. And also, ever since I'm 6, I was studying comedy. And I really wanted to do comedy, but my family, of course, never supported it. They said, no, you should be a teacher, a nurse, something that you can make money at.
Sure.
But it was always in the back of my head, one day I'm going to be a comedian. So I had studied all the greats, and I knew the pioneers, and looking at some of the women in the business, you really get to know what a struggle comedy was back then, and how many barriers they had to break. Joan Rivers, Moms Mabley,
Phyllis Diller.
Ann Mira, Phyllis Diller. Even before Roseanne, there were these greats that really got out there and made it work, and made a road when there was no road.
Right.
And they were the first to leave their kids and their family and to go to places like like the Vietnam War, to go entertain the troops, and so in hospitals, military hospitals and such. And so I learned a lot about my craft, and always in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, one day, my name's gonna be on lights in Vegas, and I'm gonna call a famous Hollywood friend and have coffee and while I'm in Vegas, and that happens now, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
That's great.
The thing that I really like about you, Debbie, is your comedy relates to men as well. And a lot, and that's very smart for a female comedian, because a lot of females, they just relate to females, you know what I mean? And I think it's kind of like when a guy comedian, he relates to the guys, but the girls are better laughers than guys are. I mean, we could agree on that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But you know what happened is, I was listening to an interview with Chris Rock. And again, if there are comedians listening, you need to study your craft. You need to listen to interviews. You should take notes when you hear these people speak about their experiences or how they write or how they think or what their goals are.
Absolutely.
So I was listening to Chris Rock, and Chris Rock said, as a black comedian, it's easy to make black people laugh. My challenge is to make white people laugh at the black experience. And so, as a female comic, it's easy to make females laugh. It's easy to make other women laugh, you know?
Yeah.
The challenge was make men laugh about either the male experience or the female experience. So I was really lucky that I worked with a lot of guys, and I could study them, and I could watch them, and get to know them. And I like them. I like men. I think men really, really try hard. And I think for the most part, you know, they're wonderful people,
Well,
and that women just kind of misunderstand, or worse yet, they're trying to turn them into women, and they're men, and we got to just love them and accept them for being men. So that was my point of view that I wanted to get across. So then I started to study men and write material about them.
And like that's
always a positive thing. Always a positive thing.
That's
and
what I was just
really
going to say.
amazed when I would get on sports radio talk, you know, and that was my demographic, were these guys that would buy my CD and listen to it on the boat, you know, because I tell the truth about men, and that they're loving, and that they try, and they're good people, and I just hate when women comics get up there and like, you know, men are all jerks, men blah, 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 you know, or my bodily functions and my boobs, and, you know, it's just, it's a one-trick pony, and the idea behind comedy is to tell a story that a lot of people can relate to.
Thank you.
Exactly. And see, that's why I love your stand-up, because you're relating to everybody, an entire comedy club, and not just women. And like, you know, a lot of females, you know, they talk about the body parts and stuff like that, and it's like when I see that comedy, I'm not saying it's not funny. I'm just saying I can't relate to it because I don't have massive, huge boobs, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what I found out too is that anytime you're a minority, if you're not careful, your comedy sounds like everybody in the group.
Oh.
So when they have a girls' night, and it's all female comics, everybody's talking about the same thing. Or it's Latino night. They're all talking about the same thing. And, anytime you get a group of comics that are all one minority, and they're all talking about the same experience, now there's nothing new and fresh about you. So I've always tried to stay away from the whole Latino angle or, girly stuff. Because now you are more marketable, and you're fresh, and you're different.
Yeah.
And you stand out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's very great advice, because I think a lot of comedians, especially when they're first starting out, they would say, oh, I got to be like everyone else, you know, because they're getting work.
Yeah.
And I think if you turn, it's like a Rubik's Cube, you know, it's like if you keep turning it, eventually all the colors will match. And I think with your comedy, you're showing that you can match all four sides. You know what I mean?
Aw, nice. It's a good way to put it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so, you know, that's just my thinking out of the box with my Asperger's, I guess, because, you know, but
all four
I seriously
sides,
mean that. Like, your comedy is just so relatable that it's, is there a guitar playing in the background?
I don't know. Did we order a guitar on the show?
I don't know.
We don't even have the...
Anyways, I'm very... That's my OCD.
Oh, downstairs they're playing Christmas music. They're decorating the tree. So.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, no, I thought it was in the building.
I thought it was in here.
No, we thought it was in the building.
I was like, I mean... Well, it's funny because we saw a homeless guy outside playing the guitar, and Alan gave him $10, and I was like, oh, he's just going to spend that on booze and drugs. And Alan's like, oh, it's better than giving it to you. I was like... I was like, what's that supposed to mean? Whatever.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to have my husband turn it down. I just texted him to turn it down.
Oh, no, it's fine.
No,
it's fine.
I like it.
I just didn't know if it was my microphone or something.
No. Leave it on. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it gives the show some premise. Here's another...
My 7-year-old. she's almost 18, and I put on Christmas music because we started like 7 o'clock, 7:30, decorating the tree. And she goes, "Oh God, Christmas music!" My husband's all, "You shut up and let your mother listen to what she wants to listen to." Merry Christmas.
See, I love Christmas, but Christmas music kind of scares me in a way. Like, it gives me nightmares. Like, what's that song where it's like, din, 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 Christmas is here, Christmas is here. You know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, that song gives me nightmares because I saw Home Alone, and it was in Home Alone. And
Did they play it at Home Alone, you were saying?
Yeah, they played it in Home Alone, and I always looked like Macaulay Culkin. So whenever my family would leave, I would think like I was in Home Alone, and then they'd play that song, and I'd be like, oh my God, Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci are going to try and kill me.
That'd be a very strange Christmas.
Yeah, but now that I look about it, I'm like, it wouldn't be so bad because I love Joe Pesci,
Well, I'm a fan of Pesci too. I don't want him to
I
kill
would
me.
just love to be inside your mind.
No, I
How
actually...
entertaining would it be to be there?
No, you want to hear a true Joe Pesci story?
Well, who wouldn't?
Okay. I used to work at a grocery store, and Joe Pesci was buying wine there, like a whole bunch of wine, And, like, I'm so, like, starstruck, And so, like, I saw him. I was like, oh, my God, this is Joe Pesci. I got to talk to him.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm scanning his groceries, and I don't know what to say, And I was like, oh, hey, Joe, how are you, buddy? Acting like I've known him for a while. And he turns to me and he's like, good. And then, like, there's a bagger, and she was, like, really cute. Yeah. And she was like, she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, he knows me. We're buddies. And I was like, hey, Joe, you don't remember me? We worked together twice, And he turns to me and he looks at me for literally 2 minutes. And he's like, Macaulay, you gained weight.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
And then he's like, what are you doing working at a grocery store? Didn't you get like $13 million for Home Alone?
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
That's funny.
And I was like, oh, well, I spent it all on stuff.
13 million worth.
On Triscuit crackers.
Yeah. He obviously knew I wasn't Macaulay, but like, he was just so quick-witted. And
Yeah, he came back quickly. Didn't he?
It was just so surprising because he doesn't do anything now,
Well, that's kind of maybe you're semi-retired.
I think he is retired. I think he does music now. But anyways, that's my Joe Pesci story, and a lot of people. We got another Twitter question for you, Debbie. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Favorite comedians working today, and who made you laugh growing up?
I was going to ask her that.
Did you tweet it?
No. No, I did not. I was going to ask her on the show.
Okay.
It obviously, it's tweeted.
Huh.
Favorite comedian?
Well, it's a hard
You know
one,
what's
isn't it?
funny is that it's funny because with all of us working so much, it's rare that we can just go and watch somebody else's set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So, and then I'll go on an off night and go see Gabe Iglesias and go, oh my God, I forgot how funny he was, or Ian Bagg, or Adam Farrar. Adam Farrar is hilarious. I forget how funny he is.
Yeah.
Brad Garrett, I love him. I forget how offensive he is. Mike Mullaney Mike Malone is fantastic. John Mulaney, I enjoy him. Of course, who doesn't love, who's the guy? Hot Pockets. What is his name, guys? Come on.
I don't know.
Jim Gaffigan.
Hot Pockets.
Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, yeah, Jim Gaffigan.
He's not one of
Very
my
funny.
favorites.
Not one of your
Regan, of
favorites?
course. I mean, and I really admire Brian and Jim because they're always writing.
I like Brian Regan.
Oh, you like
Brian Regan's always writing,
I like
and
Brian.
Jim's always writing, and who else? You know who's making a comeback? Who I just think is hilarious, whether he's doing stand-up or he's on panel, and that's Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
So Dana Carvey has always made me laugh in the past, but if you see how he is, he's touring now with his sons, the Carvey boys, and just him just sitting on panel, he is just a delight to watch. So I really enjoyed Dana Carvey.
You like Dana Carvey?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Dana Carvey because I just auditioned for that show he has for the impressions. So
right. We made a little tape.
Yeah, and I'm not an impressionic comic. I don't know how to do impressions, but I could do a Mean Green Dana Carvey impression. So
Let me hear it.
Oh, you want to hear it?
Of course I do.
Did you ever see this movie called Master of Disguise with Dana Carvey? No? All right. Well, he plays this guy called Mr. Turtle, and he like disguises as a turtle. So he's all like, turtle, turtle. Like, that's my impression of him. And, so I sent that in.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was him.
No, but I sent that because I thought it'd be funny. And then they sent me a thing, and they're like, oh, we want you to come in for a real audition. I was like, oh, great. I don't have anything else besides the turtle.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm singing broccoli.
Well, so, I'm kind of... But I think even if I do get it, if I get on TV, that would help my comedy career. Just, I say, oh, yeah, I was on whatever station it is for 2 seconds,
It's a positive thing.
Yeah, I get more gigs. Debbie, what was it like being on The View?
Oh, my God. It was frightening. I was with my friend, Sherry Shepard, so that was good.
Uh-huh.
So I knew I wasn't going to get any, softballs pitched at my head. But I got to work with Barbara Walters, and that was pretty exciting. And Joy Behar, who has always been so sweet and such a delight to work with, and I've worked with her on her show as well. And, she was wonderful, and Sherry was terrific. And Barbara was there. And Barbara Walters, I talked about loving my husband and being a mom with rules and regulations. And, Barbara called me a mean mom. And I said, yeah, I'm a mean mom. I went to mean mom school, and look at me now. I'm a teacher. And, and so it was fun. It was fun because I think Barbara tried to trip me up in a couple places, but I made her laugh. And watching the tape, I was amazed to see how much she was laughing. So it was an interesting experience, to have that many women with really no direction and these hot topics that everybody wants to weigh in. And it was interesting. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
I like The Chew better. I did The Chew, which is also an ABC production with some amazing, amazing chefs. Michael Simon, Mario
that must have
Talley,
been fun.
Carla Hall, Clinton Kelly, Daphne Oz. And that show is about making cocktails, making amazing food, making conversation, and I loved it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's cool that you went on it with Sherry Shepard. She's hysterical.
Oh, she is. Yeah. And Sherry, I've known Sherry longer than one of my kids. So we go way back.
Is that the 20-year-old?
I know her. How long have Sherry and I known? Actually, I have pictures of Sherry at one of my baby showers.
Wow.
What?
We go back that far. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sherry was on a TV show called Less Than Perfect. And my uncle was on that TV show, so I met Sherry once or twice. So,
she's a nice gal.
Yeah.
She really is sweet.
Yeah, I was a kid, and she wouldn't remember me, but I remember when I went to the taping on that, I was obsessed with Andy Dick, because he was on that show.
Yeah.
So I was like, talk to my uncle. I was like, hey, Pat, can you have Andy talk to me after the show and stuff? And he's all like, well, I'll see what I can do, but I kind of want to get out of here and go to Jack in the Box.
How funny.
He loves Jack in the Box.
Yeah, Jack in the Box is like the coolest place ever. Do you ever eat at Jack in the Box, Debbie?
Who doesn't?
No, she goes on gourmet shows.
I just want you to know that was not a Twitter question. That was just a question.
That was just a question you came up with right now.
Oh, this is
She
actually...
goes on gourmet shows. I got to tell you about this gourmet show. So I'm sitting there with all these master chefs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody says, Michael Simon says, hey, rumor has it, because when you go on these talk shows, they just ask for all this information. You have no idea what they're going to talk about. And it could be one of, all these topics that your family, turn pictures in and stuff. So word on the street is you make your dog's dog food. And I did. And I made turkey meatloaves for her.
Nice.
And she's a rescue. She's a bully breed, which happens to be the favorite of Michael Simon, who's this Iron Chef. And he goes, I love that you make your dogs dog food. And then Clinton Kelly is a big animal rights supporter. And so they said, tell us how you make it. So I turn and I look at these 4 Iron Chefs and I just go blank. I'm like, how am I going to talk to these Iron Chefs about how to make homemade dog food?
That's funny.
And but they couldn't be nicer. They really couldn't be nicer.
So were they like
making
supportive of that, or were they
made
like
suggestions?
Oh, absolutely. Because I didn't realize, but off camera, they're all telling me how they're animal lovers and they're rescuers and big promoters in that world, and so they just love the fact that I took that care to make my dog's dog food. Really, it was just that the smell of dog food was so gross, and it left her breath all gross, and everybody was putting her food in the bowl like, bleh, bleh, bleh,
Yeah.
And the dog's like, well, why do I want to eat it? So then I started making her turkey meatloaf and veggie meatloaf. And
you're making us hungry.
Yeah, and I don't eat dog food that much.
But you eat turkey meatloaf.
Yeah, but, the dog food sounds pretty good, with how Debbie...
Yeah, it really is it's just a turkey meatloaf.
That's funny. Now, did any of the chefs offer recipes that they might have done for their dogs?
No, but a lot of people wrote to me and asked me what my recipe was, and then I make her pumpkin cookies and oatmeal peanut butter cookies.
Oh, that's...
And some people were asking me for my recipes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny.
In fact, when we perform at Irvine, Keith, there's going to be a big group from For Life Rescue, which is
cool.
a rescue out there in that area. And they're really sweet people, and they're fans, so they're coming.
Oh, that's awesome.
When I was visiting my family in New York, my little niece, you went to one of these pet stores where they had one of those groups, and I was amazed that the animals they had rescued were just like, I guess they came from extremely good homes.
Yeah.
And they were just, I couldn't believe that, they were lost and had to be rescued. These were like, they were just coif. It was, they were just, their hair was done, and they were so sweet, it's amazing what you can get at these rescue deals, right, Debbie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you know what I realized too is the people who take pictures, the photographers who take pictures of these really sweet animals. They're taking this picture that this dog's life or this cat's life really depend on this picture. They've got to capture this, personality, the quirky, the fun, the loyalty, the love in the eyes. They've got to capture all that to make this picture the best picture for their website.
That's so
that
funny.
these
It's cute.
sweet things can be adopted.
Well, I totally know what they're saying, because sometimes, you'd be watching the TV and, I'll share a story, okay? So I was watching adult TV the other night, and then it was Girls Gone Wild, and then all of a sudden it cuts to a commercial of dog rescuing, and, it totally ruined my adult experience because I felt so bad for the dogs, So... I was just like,
kind of a hard segue transition, right?
Yeah, it's shame on TV companies for doing that.
No, they're ruthless.
No, I'm glad that they do it.
But they interrupted your
Girls Gone Wild
Girls Gone Wild
experience.
with.
Yeah, has that ever happened to you, Debbie?
Oh my gosh! Like every other Saturday, I'm sick of it. I tell you, I'm sick of it.
That wasn't a Twitter question, by the way.
You actually came up with that by yourself.
Yeah, that was a good one. No, this is actually probably the best question, and I totally think you should get one. Have you ever taped or released any stand-up specials? If not, perhaps put it on Netflix?
I haven't done any specials. I've been part of specials. I've been part of ensembles, and that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I do have 2 albums. My latest album was just released 2 months ago, Debi Live.
Oh, tell us about it. Plug it.
And it was so much fun, you guys. It was just it was this night at the Ice House. It was with Mike Malone. We were just goofing around. We were having so much fun. And I just let loose. And I just had the time of my life with this group of people. The Ice House was packed. And when I got off stage, my husband goes, that was your next album. That's the album.
Oh.
Here you go.
And he captured all of it, and I think he took out like 50 seconds. All he had to edit was about 50 seconds.
Wow.
And the album is hilarious, and it will be on sale when Keith
Chris-
and I do the Irvine Improv.
Yeah, I'm going to plug that away.
It's a Christmas deal, a Christmas gift thing. She could.
It is certainly a Christmas gift for somebody naughty on your list. Not the nice, the naughty. Because I love Jesus, but I cuss a lot.
Oh.
And it's funny because, like, I always, the 3 or 4 times I've seen you, you've been fairly clean, So it surprises me that you say you curse a lot.
You know what the thing is? I think it's me, my face, my stature. I don't know what it is that people think I'm adorable, and they totally forget that I just did this big thing about, Blowjob Thursday, blow your husband every Thursday.
Well, that's funny. That's a funny bit.
And I think they just kind of forget that I get naughty fast and fun, and I think it's the face that fools them.
But so you get away with it because you could turn it around so fast, you know what I mean?
I think that Naughty Thursday's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. And again, it's talking about those things that really improve a marriage,
Yeah.
And I stand by it.
That's great.
So wait, your husband recorded this CD?
At the
Well, we were at the Ice House,
Ice
and they
House.
make recordings anyway. But he went ahead and he edited and produced an album, and it was fantastic.
Wow. I'm going to have to talk to your husband and see if he'll do that for me. Because
He's a good guy.
I want to do it. I want to do a CD. I did a stand-up special, and I hated it. And I thought maybe I should. Well, no, because I can't watch myself on TV. I'm very
didn't like
critical.
it.
Yeah. And I thought maybe the jokes were good, but I thought maybe I should have just done an album instead of a special, because no one watches TV unless it's on Netflix or something. It's hard to sell DVDs. That's what I'm saying. But I think,
mean in
Yeah.
the
yeah, but I think an album would be better because people still have CD players in their car.
I think so too, and I think because stand-up is spoken word, and we forget how much fun spoken word can be, just listening and imagining what the audience looks like, and you're a storyteller. You're
That's
a
right.
storyteller, and that has to be audible.
Yeah. All right. I'm seeing if we have any more Twitter questions. The thing that I don't like about Twitter is, like, whenever you get a tweet, it resets my tweets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is funny. Some guy just said, "Hey, ask Debbie if she's ever been to Jack in a Box."
I have been. Who hasn't? I love those 2 tacos for $1.
We do. We all do.
I know there's probably dog food in it, but I don't care. They are delicious.
Debbie, what's it like working with Brad Garrett?
I love him. He is so acidic on stage.
Yeah.
And I completely forget that, And I go on stage and the audience is still, a little horrified. Like, we thought we were going to see Robbie. And it's so not Robbie. And he's just so much fun. I mean, if you like that, in your face, kind of Don Rickles, Lisa Lampanelli, Fast and Furious, that's Brad. And he is hilarious. And such a delight off stage as well. And just as big as he is, that heart matches, just a generous heart.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
great guy.
Last question, and then we gotta go.
Okay.
Debbie, what shows, make you LOL, what's LOL?
Oh my God, Fargo. Are you guys
think.
watching Fargo?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Okay, you recommend you.
Fargo makes me laugh out loud. Fargo makes me scream. Fargo makes me cover my eyes because I'm scared to see what's going to come next. And the reason I started watching it, of course, is because my friend Brad is in it, Brad Garrett.
No.
And, he plays this great part. Oh, it's amazing. I don't want to give any spoilers for anybody.
Okay. I
But
haven't seen it.
shows that make me laugh out loud, oh my gosh, Fargo has got to be one of them.
All
That is
right.
appointment TV night,
Well,
other
thank
than
you.
Walking Dead Sunday night. So, And I'm that mom that makes the theme food on Walking Dead night, and people wear zombie makeup, and the dog wears her Walking Dead collar, and we have Walking Dead blankets. And,
That's funny.
Yeah, but laugh out loud funny. If your listeners have not started watching Fargo, they need to get on board.
All
you
right.
can start second season, and it's a whole new story.
Let's check
But
that out.
it is the Coen brothers and just dark comedy.
I love
And-
the Coen brothers, and that they made the movie, and so this is the series. I'm way behind the curve on this. Thank you.
It's interesting about dark comedy because, like, a lot of people get offended so easily about dark comedy.
You think?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, you want to hear a dark comedy joke? I mean,
Why not? Doesn't everybody love them?
yeah, I love them. I mean, yeah. But this is actually, I don't do this anymore because it's too dark. But I was scanning this lady's groceries one time, and she bought cat food, like the whole store, and she's like 80, and she's like about to die, and she has so much
Stop it.
No, seriously, like she has a lot of cats. It was weird, I was like, so I assume you have a cat, huh? She's like, yeah, I have 27. And first of all, if you have 27 cats, you're weird. Like
you like cats a lot.
yeah,
so
especially if you're 100, it's kind of creepy. Anyway, so I was like, oh, and she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I know my time's up, but I love my cats. And I was like, oh, she's like, yeah, I just want them to have good homes. And I was like, oh, how much longer do you have to live? She's like, probably a couple years. And I was like, oh, you could sell the cats to the zoo, and they'll give you $100 per cat. So, you could, if you want to think about that. She's like, I will, thank you. What do they do with the cats at the zoo? And I was like, oh, they feed them to the alligators.
That's not nice.
I don't think that's funny.
See?
I'm looking at it from every angle
see,
here.
I knew that. I didn't know how that
No,
was going to go.
No.
You don't think-
Yeah.
No.
So he's cracking
See?
up here.
I
I don't know what to say.
Dark jokes aren't funny for everybody. That's what
Cats
I'm saying.
to the alligators. Wow, what a visual.
Yeah, it just wasn't the punch. You see, what?
We're laughing when you said that's not the punch. You finished it. That was funny. The punch. It was not quite the punch that you expected.
No. I just think it was funny because I've never seen an alligator at a zoo.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Well, they're there.
They're there.
They just don't move. That's why you don't see
They're
them.
very
much.
still. They're very still.
Whatever. It was a horrible story. I told you it wasn't that funny, but that's
Well,
probably why I don't do it that much anymore.
Right. Well,
But
Yeah, don't do that Thursday.
oh no.
Not even with a disclaimer.
I'm gonna do the good stuff on Thursday because I want to impress you and I want to work with
yeah,
you
the
again.
tried and
Yeah.
true stuff.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
You scared Debbie with that.
Wait, did I scare you?
No, nothing scares me.
No,
I'm
nothing.
married to
I
a
mean-
former
I mean-
Marine.
there you
Oh,
go.
see?
That's it.
Well, we gotta get going, Debbie. But thank
Wow,
you so
this
much
was
for
fun.
the
Alrighty.
interview.
Thank you, Debbie.
Well, thank you so much.
And I'll see you Thursday, and we're gonna sell all your CDs, and we're gonna
Yeah,
go to
let's
the
do
Yard
that to
House.
somebody naughty. Remember, buy a CD for the naughty person in your life.
All right. Well, I'll see you on Thursday,
Alrighty,
Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was awesome. I think she now hates me.
Well, you're working with her, so she knows that joke now. She knows that.
I wasn't going to do the joke.
Well-
You kind of bullied me into it
I was nodding. I thought I was waiting for an amazing punch. I don't remember hearing that joke.
because it's not funny.
No, no. I remember the old woman is about to die. That's when I got I was a little bit afraid of how you were going to handle that. When you said she was about to die and she had the 27 cats, I didn't know how that was going to end up.
No, seriously. It's a stupid story.
I like it. I kind of liked it.
You liked it. Debbie didn't.
Well,
I mean, I'm trying to work with Debbie
I
here.
understand.
Because here's the thing. I need to get in with as much headliners as I can
I know.
so I could get work. Because right now, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been doing stand-up.
We were just teasing. I was just teasing.
I've been doing stand-up for 12 years, and
We know
I need
that. We know that,
I need
Keith.
to get
Yeah.
I need to get out there, And
I think you are getting out there. I don't know.
no, but I need to impress Debbie.
Well, you're going to be able to
Because here's what I'm saying, folks. I'm the type of guy that makes dreams come true. I've always have been. I've been wanting to work with Debbie for 4 or 5 years now, and now I'm about to.
Yeah, that's good. You
know what I mean?
you manifest.
Yeah, And then I finally get the job to work with her, and then I tell this stupid cat joke because you conned me into it.
I've always thought that was very
and now
cute.
she's
and I
like,
thought that was funny. Well,
maybe I shouldn't have hired him.
I supported you in manifesting John Lovitz, but it didn't manifest.
Wait, what?
I said you wanted to manifest John Lovitz, and it didn't happen. And I supported you on that. I've always supported you.
Yeah, Alan Lee, you're a great guy. Well,
and we manifested this show. We manifested this show, and Debbie.
Debbie was awesome.
Awesome show.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite one.
You said that. Did you say that last week about the show?
Maybe, but this one
Steve
I thought
Trevino was your favorite one. And
this one is my favorite one.
Oh.
And
what do you think about? You think next week will be a favorite too, or just?
Ooh, next week's going to be good. We have Bobby Slayton next week.
Yeah, they're all good.
I'm not saying they're not, but what I'm saying is like each episode, they take away my favorite, and that's what I'm scared of.
Oh,
because tonight, seriously, was one of my favorite ones. I had a blast.
Oh, we had a great time. She was a great guest.
And Debi Gutierrez, right?
She said Gutierrez.
Yeah, so I was right.
You were correct. We didn't bet on that, so.
But I was right.
You were right. Okay.
Can you tell the world I was right?
Yes, Keith Reza pronounced Debi Gutierrez. He pronounced it fabulously. In fact, I think you should get an award.
Yeah. And go see Debi Gutierrez at the Irvine Improv on Thursday. 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Tickets are $20, and it's going to be fun.
At the
Irvine Improv.
Irvine Improv.
And it's going to be awesome. I'm doing the show. I'd like to say Alan's doing the show, but
no, I am the unknown comic until I get my set together.
We should get the unknown comic on the show.
Is that the one with the bag over his head?
Yeah.
Well, give him a buzz.
Yeah, we'll give him a buzz. I don't know how to reach him because it's unknown.
That's a little problem with the unknown comic. How do you find him?
Whatever. Anyways, guys, Alan Lee, you want to plug anything before we get out?
Well, I'd just like to plug that I'm a happy guy, and we should all be happy. The holidays are coming up, and
I think
we look forward to it.
I think we should plug this. Next week will be the last show this year.
Yes.
Because we're taking time off for
the holidays.
It does not mean we're canceled.
No, not yet.
We are coming back in January.
Tuesday
fans.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so we're coming back in January.
Yeah.
We're not canceled and we're not closing the season. We're just next week the last show, and then. We're taking time off to be with our families. So don't panic. More cat stories will come back in January.
With the crocodiles, too.
Yeah, I should have said alligators. Maybe it would have been funnier.
I like crocodiles. Is it crocodile cat? CC?
Yeah, whatever. All right, guys. Tune in next week with Bobby Slayton. One more time, follow Debi Gutierrez on Facebook and Twitter. Very, very funny. One of my favorite stand-ups. And
call in your questions. Tweet your questions. Bobby Slayton.
Yeah, we'll get that going as well. See you guys next week.
Yeah.
I'm Keith Reza. This is my trusty sidekick,
Alan Lee.
All right. Have a good night, folks.
Yeah.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.